In 2017, NASA made a shocking discovery. While studying dangerous radiation around Earth, their probes detected something completely unexpected. Humans had accidentally created a protective barrier in space. We've been broadcasting radio waves for decades without realizing we were building our planetary shield. This is the story of humanity's accidental space engineering project. First, let's understand what we're dealing with. Surrounding our planet are the Van Allen belts. Massive donut-shaped zones have trapped radiation particles. Named after physicist James Van Allen, discovered them in 1958. These belts follow Earth's magnetic field lines, creating a cosmic radiation swim floaty around our planet's middle. The Van Allen belts are both beautiful and dangerous. They create spectacular auroras at the poles where particles escape, but they also pose serious risks to astronauts and spacecraft. Any mission through these zones requires heavy radiation shielding to protect crew and electronics. This is why most spacecraft launch from as close to the equator as possible, right through the most intense radiation zone. It's a calculated risk that space agencies have managed for over 60 years. Since the early 1900s, humans have been pumping radio waves into the atmosphere. Military communications, navigation systems, and emergency broadcasts use very low frequency or VLF radio waves. These are the simplest radio signals, perfect for long-distance communication and able to penetrate water and underground. VLF occupies the lowest part of the radio spectrum, frequencies between 3 and 30 kilohertz. The military claimed this territory first because these waves travel incredible distances and can reach submarines underwater. Think of them as radio's equivalent of a deep, booming voice that carries much farther than a high-pitched whistle. When NASA's Van Allen probes began collecting data in 2012, they noticed something strange. The edge of the radiation belt seemed to match perfectly with a mysterious boundary in space. At first, scientists thought this was just an incredible coincidence, but by 2017, the evidence was undeniable. The boundary wasn't natural. Human VLF radio transmissions were creating it. Our radio waves push the Van Allen belts further away from Earth. Here's how our accidental shield works. VLF radio waves don't just stay on Earth. They leak into space and interact with charged particles in the Van Allen belts. The frequency of these waves happens to be perfectly tuned to disrupt the motion of radiation particles. It's like cosmic noise-canceling headphones. The VLF waves create electromagnetic fields that scatter and deflect the high-energy particles in the Van Allen belts, pushing them further from Earth. We've essentially created a bigger safety buffer around our planet. Comparing satellite data from the 1960s to today shows the radiation belts have been gradually pushed outward as our VLF transmissions increased. We've been terraforming space around Earth without even knowing it. The beauty of this system is that VLF waves don't interfere with any other radio communications. They occupy their quiet corner of the electromagnetic spectrum, doing their protective work invisibly while all our other radio, TV, cell phone, and Wi-Fi signals operate normally above them. This discovery opens incredible possibilities for space exploration. If we can push away dangerous radiation accidentally, imagine what we could do intentionally. Space agencies are now studying whether focused VLF transmissions could create safe corridors through radiation zones. Picture this: VLF generators on spacecraft creating protective bubbles, or ground-based transmitters punching temporary holes in radiation barriers for safer passage to the Moon and Mars. We might have stumbled onto a new form of space infrastructure. For astronauts on long-duration missions, this technology could mean the difference between manageable radiation exposure and dangerous health risks. Our accident might become the foundation for humanity's expansion into the solar system. Sometimes the most remarkable discoveries happen by accident. We built a shield around it while simply trying to communicate across our planet. Every radio transmission, every military communication, every emergency broadcast has contributed to humanity's first accidental mega-project in space. The next time you hear a radio, remember, you're not just listening to information, you're witnessing part of Earth's defense system in action. What other accidental engineering marvels might we discover as we explore deeper into space?